I never imagined I'd share this part of my life publicly. There are experiences that leave such a mark on you. It's hard to even put them into words. But maybe by telling this story, I'll find a bit of peace. So please, don't judge me right away, listen to the end. Because sometimes, the most unexpected moments change us forever. My name is Sophia. I'm 30 years old, and I've been married to Luigi for 6 years. When we first met, it felt like a fairy tale. He was kind, passionate, and full of dreams. But over the years, that same ambition that I admired in him started taking over everything. Work became his world, and I slowly became invisible in my own home. The house that once felt full of laughter and light became quiet, heavy, and empty. After Luigi's company started struggling financially, he suggested that his father, Danilo, move in with us to help cut costs. Danilo, a 65-year-old retired science teacher, was polite but distant, a man who carried his own kind of mystery. His calm eyes always seemed to hold stories he'd never tell. At first, his presence barely mattered to me. But that was about to change. On my birthday, I didn't expect much. Luigi rushed off to work early, kissed my forehead, and said with half a smile, "Happy birthday, love. I've got a surprise for you tonight." It sounded more like an afterthought than excitement. Hours later, while I was preparing lunch, Danilo walked in quietly. "Happy birthday, Sophia," he said, his tone soft but sincere. I thanked him, expecting nothing more until he said, "Luigi mentioned he had a surprise for you, but I wanted to prepare something too." He led me into the living room. In the center stood a large gold-wrapped package tied with a red ribbon. I was stunned. When I unwrapped it, I found a beautifully restored wooden chest, carved with delicate patterns that made it look like a work of art. "It belonged to my mother," Danilo explained. "I spent weeks restoring it. I thought you might appreciate it." There was emotion in his voice that caught me off guard. It wasn't just a gift, it was something deeper. "The chest is a reminder," he added softly, "that you're someone worth cherishing." I didn't know what to say. His words struck something inside me I hadn't felt in a long time. That evening, Luigi came home late, exhausted, distracted, holding a store-bought cake and a bottle of perfume I already owned. I smiled, but part of me couldn't stop comparing his gesture to his father's. Not because of the gifts, but because of the intent behind them. Days turned into weeks. Danilo's quiet presence began to fill the silence Luigi left behind. He noticed small things when I was sad, tired, lonely. And though I tried to ignore it, I found myself thinking about him more often than I should have. One afternoon, while Luigi was away on business, Danilo asked for help sorting boxes in the garage. At first, it was just simple conversation. Then the air changed. "Sophia," he said quietly, "may I be honest with you?" I nodded, though my heart started racing. "I've seen how much strength you carry, how invisible you've felt. You deserve warmth, attention, love, and I can't pretend I don't see you anymore." I froze. His words hit me harder than I expected. Before either of us could react further, the sound of a car pulling into the driveway shattered the moment. Luigi had come home early. That night, I lay awake replaying everything in my mind, the guilt, the confusion, the longing. I knew how wrong it was to even think of him that way, but emotions aren't always logical. Weeks passed. I tried to create distance, but Danilo always found ways to check in, a look, a question, a simple word of kindness. And every time, it grew harder to ignore. Then one night, under a sky scattered with stars, he found me on the balcony. "I don't want to make you uncomfortable," he said softly, "but I can't hide what I feel anymore. If you don't feel the same, I'll never bring it up again." Something in me broke. For a moment, all the walls I'd built came down. He kissed me, gentle, hesitant, and for a brief heartbeat, the world disappeared. Then reality returned. I stepped back, trembling. "We can't," I whispered. "This isn't right." "I know," he said quietly. "But please, don't keep living like you don't matter. You deserve to be seen, Sophia." His words lingered long after that night. They forced me to see the truth I had been avoiding, that I wasn't happy, that my marriage had become a shell of what it once was. A week later, Luigi told me he'd be leaving for another long business trip. I smiled and wished him well, but deep inside, I knew it was time to face my heart. That evening, Danilo sat beside me, his expression calm but full of emotion. "I'll never pressure you," he said. "Whatever you decide, I'll respect it. I just want you to find your peace." I looked at him and finally said, "I need time to figure out what's right." He nodded, placed a gentle hand on my shoulder, and walked away. That night, for the first time in months, I slept not peacefully but honestly. Maybe healing starts with truth.